Helicopter Flying Handbook 11-2 Helicopter Emergencies and Hazards. A power recovery is employed to conclude practice autorotations before actual touchdown, allowing for either a landing or a go-around. The technique involves specific steps to be followed for a successful execution. At a height of approximately 3 to 15 feet above ground level or AGL, depending on the helicopter model, the pilot initiates the power recovery. Using forward cyclic control, the helicopter is leveled, avoiding an excessive nose-high, tail-low attitude below 10 feet. Just before achieving a level attitude, with the nose still slightly up, the pilot coordinates upward collective pitch control with an increase in throttle to join the needles at operating RPM. The coordination of throttle and collective pitch is crucial to prevent engine overspeed or loss of rotor RPM. During the power recovery, proper anti-torque pedal pressure is maintained to keep the heading. If a landing follows the power recovery, the helicopter is brought to a hover and then descended for landing. In most helicopters, the throttle should be at the flight setting at the beginning of the flare during autorotations with power recovery. Helicopters without the throttle control on the collective may require different techniques, such as initiating the autorotation with power levers in the flight position. If a full touchdown is planned, power levers are moved to idle position once a safe landing area is assured. However, power recovery before passing through 100 feet above ground level may be possible under certain conditions, as specified in the Rotorcraft Flight Manual or RFM. Differences between reciprocating engines and turbines are considered during autorotations with power recovery. Turbines may have delay times in power changes, requiring careful timing during the recovery. Recovery should begin approximately 100 feet above ground level for helicopters with slower engine response times. For a go-around, the cyclic control is moved forward to resume forward flight, exercising caution to avoid unsafe altitude-airspeed combinations. Transitioning from autorotation to a go-around demands precision and attention to altitude-airspeed coordination. Performing this maneuver is challenging due to the concentration required when transitioning between powered flight, autorotation, and back to powered flight. Helicopters with power control on the collective require transitioning from flight power to idle and back to a flight power setting. Any delay during these transitions can affect rotor RPM and potentially lead to an unrecoverable situation. The cyclic must be adjusted for airspeed control during the autorotation and used for the deceleration flare. Pedals must be adjusted to compensate for transmission drag and changes in thrust requirements, demanding quick, precise control inputs in the last 5 seconds of the maneuver. Common errors: late recovery leading to overcontrol, inadequate level attitude near surface, throttle collective mismatch, improper anti-torque pedal use, delayed power engagement risking temperature or torque, and neglecting go-around when not meeting safe autorotation criteria. Continuous practice and adherence to proper procedures enhance the pilot's ability to execute successful autorotations with power recovery. Practicing power failure in a hover, often referred to as hovering autorotation, is a crucial skill for pilots. This skill enables them to respond correctly to engine stoppage or other emergencies while hovering. Let's dive into the techniques designed for helicopters with a counterclockwise rotor disc and an anti-torque rotor. Begin by establishing a normal hovering height, typically around 2 to 3 feet. Consider the specific helicopter, load, and atmospheric conditions. Keep the helicopter oriented into the wind and maintain maximum allowable RPM. To simulate a power failure, smoothly roll the throttle to the engine idle position. This action disengages the engine's driving force from the rotor, eliminating torque effect. As the throttle is closed, apply proper anti-torque pedal to maintain heading. A slight right cyclic control may be needed to counteract the loss of tail rotor thrust and prevent drifting to the left. Use cyclic control as necessary to ensure a vertical descent and maintain a level attitude. Avoid adjusting the collective on entry. Helicopters with low inertia rotor discs settle quickly, and lateral movement should be avoided to prevent dynamic rollover. As rotor RPM decays, compensating for winds requires more cyclic input. At approximately 1 foot above ground level, apply upward collective control as needed to slow the descent and cushion the landing without arresting the rate of descent above the surface. Hold the throttle in the idle detent position to prevent the engine from re-engaging during the descent and landing. The idle detent is a ridged stop position between idle and off. Helicopters with high inertia rotor discs settle more slowly. Apply upward collective control when the helicopter is approximately 1 foot above ground level while holding the throttle in the idle detent position. Use cyclic control to maintain a level attitude and ensure a vertical descent. Maintain heading with anti-torque pedals. When the weight of the helicopter is entirely on the landing gear, cease the application of upward collective. Once the helicopter has come to a complete stop, lower the collective pitch to the full down position. The timing of collective movement is critical. Applying it too soon or too late can impact the softness of the landing. Avoid using the collective to hold the helicopter off the surface, which may lead to blade stall. Common errors include insufficient anti-torque pedal, failure to stop all sideward or backward movement before touchdown, improper application of up collective pitch, failure to touch down in a level attitude, incomplete throttle roll to idle, hovering at an unsafe altitude, and failure to go around if not within limits and specified criteria for safe autorotation. Vortex ring state, formerly known as settling with power, is an aerodynamic condition where a helicopter is in a vertical descent with 20% up to maximum power applied, yet exhibits little or no climb performance. In simpler terms, the helicopter keeps descending despite having full engine power. In a normal out-of-ground effect, OGE, hover, the helicopter stays stationary by propelling a large mass of air down through the main rotor. However, when the helicopter descends vertically, it settles into its own downwash, enlarging the tip vortices. This vortex ring state results in most engine power being wasted in circulating air around the rotor in a donut pattern. Additionally, the helicopter may descend at a rate exceeding the normal downward-induced flow rate of the inner blade sections, creating a secondary vortex ring. This turbulent flow over a large area of the disc leads to rotor efficiency loss, even with power supplied from the engine. A fully developed vortex ring state is marked by uncommanded pitch and roll oscillations, limited collective authority, and a descent rate that can reach up to 6,000 feet per minute if allowed to develop. This state can be entered during maneuvers that place the main rotor in a condition of descending in disturbed air and low forward airspeed. Quick stop maneuvers or autorotation recoveries are examples. Critical conditions for entering a vortex ring state include a vertical descent of at least 300 fpm, the rotor using some engine power, and horizontal velocity slower than effective translational lift. Recovery from a vortex ring state involves increasing airspeed, partially lowering collective, and applying lateral cyclic thrust with increased power and anti-torque thrust. The Vouchard recovery, named after its developer, involves lateral cyclic thrust and is aimed at eliminating the descent rate. For demonstrations and training, vortex ring state recognition and recovery should be performed from a safe altitude, no less than 1,000 feet above ground level or the manufacturer's recommended altitude. Recovery should be initiated at the first sign of vortex ring state by applying forward cyclic to increase airspeed and/or reducing collective. The recovery is complete when the aircraft passes through effective translational lift, establishing a normal climb. Common errors in traditional recovery include excessive lateral speed and an excessive decrease of collective. For Vouchard recovery, common errors include excessive lateral cyclic and failure to maintain heading.